this meeting of Fayette County Board of Commissioners, start with pledge allegiance to the flag.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
You all have a copy of the minutes of the preceding meeting. Is there any additional or corrections?
If no additions or corrections, Mr. President, I move to be accepted as presented. Second.
Been moved and seconded, the minutes be accepted as presented. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Department head reports, we'll start with Jay Hadley, Highway Department.
Good morning.
Morning.
As you know, we've been pretty busy with the snow and the ice, and I'm over it already. I wish I'd never seen more snow this year. We've already put down about 1,500 ton of salt sand, and we've had, our building holds about 250 ton, right around there, and we've emptied it once and filled it. We're about half down on it again already. It was just with the ice, we've had to put so much down for the ice. And we've had one truck was stuck most of the day when that heavy snow come, with the wet snow, and it was down in Columbia Orange area down in there. But we moved other trucks in and took care of it. They had to call Davis in to get him out because we drive with grader and we drive with trucks and we couldn't move him. He was stuck that good. But it just, you get too close to the edge of the road and it just sucks you right off the road. There's nothing you can do about it. But right now we're in the process of getting everything ready for the next round. If we get anything else, we're having to replace some blades on some plows, which surprised me. They wore out as fast as they did, but they did. And I don't know whether it's because they're not putting as much carbide in them or what. But we're working on getting them replaced and getting them ordered in.
Did we talk to them about how come they're wearing so much?
I've called a couple people and they don't understand why they're wearing so much, but I mean, we've been using the daylights out of them things with all this snow, and it is the second year for them. And usually, Jerry, we usually go about 3 years out of one of them set of blades, so it's just a little early. But we've been using them a lot this year already. But we're working on getting everything ready, so we'll be ready for the next one. And that's all I have.
Okay. Anybody got any questions?
I got a question. You guys, I saw you Saturday. Did you guys work Sunday?
Yeah.
Okay.
We pushed that wet snow off Saturday. That's when the truck got stuck. And I come back in Sunday because all the ice was left on the road, and we salted it for everybody going to church and everything. We worked 4 hours Sunday just to try to get some control over it. And I wasn't expecting that snow Monday morning. That surprised the daylights out of me. Get up and see another 2 inches of snow out there.
Did us too.
Yeah, but we got in and got it as quick as we could and tried to get it pushed off.
Is there a maximum capacity on the salt? When you put it down, it will stop you. It will stop working at a certain temperature.
Usually it's about 22 degrees, 24, somewhere around there. If it's above that, it'll work. If the sun gets on it, even down to about 18 degrees, it'll work. Yeah. But it'll melt back. It'll freeze back once it's running off the road. So you're kind of. Okay. Usually we try to put salt sand down, even in the housing developments when it's that cold.
Right.
We don't like to because that makes a mess, but you've got no other choice.
Right. Okay.
Yeah. Jay, we had an incident out in my area where on Monday morning on a 2-hour delay, the hill down below my house was still frozen and the school bus driver couldn't get up that.
Yeah.
Even after the delay, you know. Do you usually get in early on school days like that to try to help?
We usually try, like I say, Monday caught us off guard. I don't think anybody knew that much was coming Monday. Because we've been out Sunday sanding the roads to get them ready for Monday morning. Try to stay ahead of it. Because they put, I forget how much tonnage they put down Sunday by itself in 4 hours. But it just, with the extra snow on top, that little bit of ice with the sand on it, it just didn't do it good. It just caught everybody by surprise. So we got started as soon as we got in there.
Thanks, Jay.
Okay.
Surveyor, Jerry, you got a change order for us?
Yes. I got a change order on Bridge 82. 82 is the one down Village Creek Road, right there at Alcliner Road.
Could we just
You know where I'm talking
Yeah.
about. That's that new bridge. back here about 2.5, 3 months ago, we had that major rain event. If you remember that major rain we had, storm, and we had a lot of water and gravel stuff that washed off the banks to the west and came across the road and ran down the road and then off to the east side of the project. So we went back in there because it really tore things up pretty good, and so we've tried to figure out what to do to try to contain water coming off that bank. Those banks are kind of steep down there, and so what we determined to do was to put a curbing down along the road, so when the water came off the road, it would hit the curbing and keep the majority of the water into that ditch line. Then I had them redo that ditch line. I think they had the ditch line a little too flat, and when that water came off the bank, it kind of hydroplaned more or less across the ditch onto the road. And so we redone the ditch line, the riprap down through there, made more of a swale in it, and put this curbing down through there. And that's what this change order is about, is realigning that riprap and putting this new curbing in down through there. And it came to $7,298.42. But I think that will, I'm not guaranteeing that if you get a 6 or 8 inch rain, it's going to hold it. But if you get a rain like we had in the past, it should hold, pretty good, I would think. Except for a huge major rain.
So we're pretty much done out there then?
Yeah, we're pretty much done. Now, one of the problems we're having on that is people taking their four-wheelers and stuff and running up and down those banks down there. I think we're going to have the sheriff's department go down there and kind of look into that a little more, maybe put some more patrols down through there or something, because those banks, we were hoping that this spring that they would fill in a little better. We've reseeded it already back in the fall. We've done the second seeding on it, which we weren't planning on doing, but it wasn't coming out as good as it should have. So when filling in, and these guys taking their four-wheelers up and down those banks.
That's not gonna help it, then?
That's not helping it anything, no. That's gonna make it worse. So you may have to go back in this spring and do something else to it for all the ruts that they're putting in it. So I think we're gonna have to have the sheriff's department go down there and do a few extra patrols down through there and keep those guys.
Okay.
I mean, I understand it's fun going up and down those banks. I understand all that, but that bridge project's not ready for all that kind of
Right.
stuff yet. So I would ask that they would do that, maybe. I'll talk to Billy and see if he'll do that. One other thing I have, besides the change order, I've been working on Bridge 43 out in Lawrence Bischoff's house. It's just west of Lawrence's house out there on Williams Road. And I've got a contract here with Butler Fairman Seifert to do that bridge. What we want to do is put a two-sided box in there, a concrete box. I've been working on that for the last 3 or 4 years, trying to figure out something to put in there, and that's what we finally came up with, was a two-sided box put on footers. Because you got those 3 pipes that are in there right now, and every time we get a major rain, and I don't live too far from there, the first thing I do is drive down there to take a look at it to see what's going on, and I end up getting sticks and debris off the road stuff. I kick it off my foot, and then sometimes I get little limbs and logs and stuff like that laying on the road because it backs up. It's not that the pipes won't take it, the pipes get clogged up because that's a trashy watershed up through there. It's got a lot of debris and stuff up through that watershed, and when you get a big rain event like that, it comes down through and it plugs those pipes. Then the water builds up and it runs over the road. But this what we're planning on putting in is a two-sided box. It's a big opening, and it will let all that debris, rather than plug up, it'll let all that debris go on through it. So we won't get that water backing up and getting water over the road again. So,
Okay.
so I've got a contract here for that too. So.
Okay, so we need to approve both of those.
Yes, if you would please, I appreciate it.
Well, let's take the change order on the bridge first.
Move to accept the change order presented by Jerry Golden, Mr. President.
Been moved and seconded to accept the change order on the bridge. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried.
Can I ask what change order number that is?
Number 7.
Okay, thank
Number
you.
7.
Okay. Now we need to approve, if you want to, the putting in the two-sided box down and out on Williams.
It'll be a concrete box, is what it's going to be.
Right.
It'll go from a can to being a box, or?
Yeah.
So moved.
Second.
Been moved and seconded to approve the work on Williams Creek out there with the concrete structure. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. There you go.
All right, appreciate it.
Okay.
Mr. Commissioner,
Yes, sir.
can I?
Go ahead.
Okay, you want to get up there to
Sure.
the podium and say who you are and what you want to talk about?
My name's Marion Dalrymple, trustee, Orange Township. Down below my house on 710 West and on past that into Keel Road, which is into Franklin County, we have two existing cans there that
I know what you're talking about.
take that, well, it's not even a creek, it's just a big, heavy drainage. That's probably a 10 to 12 foot drop from the road down to the bottom of the creek. There's never been any guardrails or anything put up there because of the weather we've been having with the ice and stuff. We had some slide offs there. Had one gentleman in his pickup truck end up down in the creek. And I was wondering if Jerry had any intentions, or of course I know Jerry won't be around much longer now, but as far as capacity of surveyor and bridge man, but to put some guardrails up there. There's never been guardrails up there, and Jerry will attest to this, they're both pretty dangerous. One of them's a gravel road that goes up over the hill on 800 or 810 or 850. And then the other's a blacktop that goes on into Franklin County. They are pretty dangerous, both of them. They're both in curves.
Well,
And,
we'll have them look at it and make a recommendation to us.
all right, appreciate that.
Well, a lot of times I don't put guardrails and things like that because, as Mary can attest to, when the water gets up and runs over those tanks sometimes, they hold debris and stuff, and sometimes it makes a bigger mess, and and it's easier to clean up without the guardrails there. So, but I mean, it's something to be done.
We can look at it.
All right.
Those are what,
Those are tank cars.
tank cars?
Yeah.
That's been in there?
Yeah. We've got 325 tank cars in the ground throughout the county. I started that program back in the early 70s, and we've saved millions of dollars by putting tank cars in rather than putting regular bridges in or big metal culvert pipes. I got a lot of them cheap there early on in the 70s and 80s.
Oh, they do a good job most of the time, 99.9% of the time, they do a great job.
Yeah, right. And they were put in cheap. And, it's
Thanks,
so-
Jerry. Bill Gray?
Morning, gentlemen.
Morning, Bill.
Been working on trying to get bids on for the low water valve shut off. I did get one back from Ronnie. Pal's never did get back with me. This is the one from Johnson's and the one from Ronnie Colarm. That's the only two I could get. Oh, I'm sorry, Debbie.
That's okay.
The one from Johnson's was for $1,748. That's to replace both the low water pumps on the two boilers at the annex building. And the bid from Ronnie Colarm was $2,167.39.
Okay.
And that's the only two I could get.
Well, they're both rep contractors. I would think we'd have to take the low bid.
Mr. President, I'll move to accept the bid from Johnson Controls simply because it's the lower bid. I really prefer to be local, but it's still the lower bid.
Right.
Second.
Been moved to second to accept the bid from Johnson Controls for $1,748. Is there any more discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried.
Okay, I just need one of those signed. The other thing I have is our contracts on all of our heating and cooling in all of our buildings are going to be December 31st is the cutoff date. I mean, that's the end of the contract. I've tried to get bids in here from Champion Heating out of Indy and Expert Heating out of Indy, Irish Mechanicals out of Indy, and Havel Brothers out of Indy. And I can't get I can't get any information back from any of them. I did get some information back from Champion Heating. He was supposed to get me a bid in, email me a bid, he never did get it in. He finally emailed me and told me that he would try to get me a maintenance agreement in, but they don't come out this far for service. So that's not gonna do us any good. If you don't come out this far for service, how's he gonna?
That's the point of the contract, right?
Who are we with now, Bill?
We're with Johnson Controls. Last year's contract was $23,569. That's for the jail, the courthouse, and the annex. And this proposal this year was $23,569. No, $24,394. A increase of $825 from last
So
year.
Johnson, you asked for quotes
Yes.
or bids from the other
From
ones you
from
named,
4 companies.
but the only one that would actually give one is Johnson.
Yes,
Are you comfortable with Johnson's?
absolutely. I mean, they're the ones that we've been with for, well, I don't know how many years we've been with them. Do you, Debbie?
Several, they're the ones that done all the
Yes.
remodeling.
But since we put all the new equipment
It's
and
just
everything in.
disturbing that nobody else will.
But they're, I have no trouble with them at all. They're excellent with what they do. And if there's a problem, they take care of it right away. And usually, like you see the bid on these pumps, they're usually low bid. They try. I mean, they're not always low bid, but if they can be, they will be.
Mr. President, is the motion appropriate?
Yes, sir.
Due to the fact that we have requested other bids, no one has complied or replied with the exception of Johnson Controls, I move to accept the bid by Johnson Controls to renew the necessary contract.
Second.
Been moved and second, accept Johnson Controls contract. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried.
Don't go away.
Okay, I've got one more thing. Debbie, this is the whole contract. You need to sign.
Okay.
The only other thing I have is I had the service people come in on that elevator to Annex. And that elevator is pretty much shot. So you're looking at pulling the shaft out, the jack, and replacing the jack. You're looking at $31,175. Now, if they pull this jack out and there's anything wrong with the shaft itself, then they're gonna have to bring a drill rig in and redo the shaft. And
And how in the world do you do that
yeah,
inside?
they can't give us a price on that. You know, I don't know. I don't know how they do that. They'd have to, the car would have to be out of there, so they'd have to take the car completely out somehow.
How you
Quote my grandmother,
How
that's
you gonna
pig
get
in
a
a
drill
poke
rig
to get
inside
that.
the building?
Yeah, I don't know. I have no idea how they would do it.
Now, the replacement of this,
Now, this replaces, this $31,000, that replaces everything but the car. But again, if they pull that jack out and that shaft out, and there's something, the hole caves in, or there's some material down in there from something off the shaft or something, then they'll have to re-drill it and redo the shaft. Then you're talking, I don't know how much more, but you're talking,
Wouldn't be cheap.
no, it wouldn't be cheap.
how old is that elevator?
That elevator was in there when it was a jail.
The annex was built in 60s, 63
60s,
maybe?
I'm thinking, yeah.
Something like
So,
that.
yeah, it was put in at that time.
When I was a sheriff's reserve in 1979, and the sheriff at that time, Jim Caldwell, was constantly pulling an electrician who happened to be in jail at the time. He was constantly pulling him out of the cell blocks to work on that elevator, and that was 1979.
Yeah.
So it's been a pain since then.
Well, the reason why I ask is because the elevator prior some people don't even know it's there.
Yeah.
So they don't even use it. They
Yeah.
just go up the
That
stairs. So
elevator.
you're walking up 2 or 3 flights of stairs. But in hindsight in the past, that it's been used for other things, because of its age, it's going to,
Yeah.
and then we have to come up with $31,000. That's a lot of
Plus,
money.
I mean, that's just, until they open it up and get in there, you don't know what you got.
Right.
Could be a whole lot more.
I'm not ready to take any action on this right now.
No, we're gonna have to think about it. I mean, the building is gonna have to be ADA compliant one way or another, but
I do have some bids out, or not bids out, I do have some requests out for bids, maybe for a ramp. So,
Speaking of
Yes.
ADA,
No.
thing I wanted to ask you is that I was at a meeting at the Community Corrections Building the other night, and there was actually a parking place open right next to the ramp. But I kept looking, I thought it had to be handicap, had to be for a handicap that close, and it wasn't. The actual parking spaces that I could see aren't marked for handicap properly, and I talked to Michelle about it, and she said the same. So if you could look at that, I realize we can't paint anything on the blacktop now, but if you could put signs up in front of the parking places on the building for what's supposed to be handicapped, I'd appreciate it.
I didn't realize there wasn't anything there.
Well, the ramp itself
Yeah, I
is
know that
marked
ramp.
off with blue, but I couldn't see any other handicap spots, and even if the snow gets on, you're not going to see it, so we put them up on the wall to correspond. That'd be great.
I'll look into that.
Thank you.
That's all I have.
Okay.
Thanks, Bill.
Thank you.
IT director, he's got a crisis somewhere, and he's not gonna be here today. County attorney, Chris, you have anything for us?
Yes, it just relates to item 5, the rental ordinance. At this time, since it's going to affect so many people, I think we should hold off and discuss the ramifications and decide at the next meeting whether or not we want to pass it.
Are we supposed to have a thing on like for public discussion at some point or no?
Here.
For this ordinance?
Yeah.
I don't believe so.
Okay.
Well, with the consent of the other two, we will put this off to our January meeting, give time to study it out.
That's fine.
Because it is gonna affect a lot of people, renters and landlords, and we gotta make sure we're not trampling on too many toes.
Right.
Okay, you got anything else, Chris?
No, nothing at this time.
Okay. Mayo?
Council representative.
Oh, council representative. You got anything for us, sir?
Not really, other than wishing everyone a Merry Christmas. We're having a special meeting this evening, the county council is, to approve the salaried ordinance. It wasn't quite completed when we had our meeting 2 weeks ago, so we'll be approving that, and there's a couple of the ordinance to go along with the HSA portion of
With
the
insurance.
county insurance, so I think that's about it.
Merry
Thank you.
Christmas.
Thanks, Sherry. Shirley.
Okay, now we're ready for mail. We have,
Yeah, this one. Get those two things.
we have a letter from Danny Jarbo asking for 2 extra sick days. He's been out of sick days, and we generally grant them as they are unpaid. But we need to decide whether we will or we won't.
I move to grant him the extension.
Second.
Then moving second to grant Jared Jarbo an extension for his 2 extra days on his sick days. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. We have a letter from the city asking that we renegotiate the 9/11 contract. So I would suggest that if it's okay with the other two commissioners, that me and Debbie negotiate with Julia with the city and see what we can come up with, and then bring it back to the commissioners for approval. That's okay.
You need a motion?
Yeah.
I move to allow our council president, our commissioner's president, and the auditor to deal with the city clerk treasurer with this matter.
Second.
Been moved and seconded that Debbie and I negotiate with the city on a new 9/11 contract and bring a proposal back to the commissioners for approval. Old business rental ordinance, we've already taken care of that. We put that off until
You need to, yes, sir.
our January meeting.
Ian has asked to be taken off the agenda.
Okay.
Did you do it?
Did Did you get a vote?
Didn't I vote on it?
Oh, yeah, you kind of didn't.
Okay, well, let's vote. All in favor, all in favor of the negotiating committee, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, motion carried. New business, Ann Frost is asked to be taken off. We have a request to close the courthouse to the public on 12/31/13 at noon for the year-end balancing. That's a normal procedure so they can wind up the business for the year. The people will be here, they just won't be open to the public. But we do need to approve or disapprove that.
So moved.
Second.
Been moved and seconded, courthouse be closed to the public at noon on the 31st day of December. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. We have bids to be open for the highway department. You can divide them up and tell us.
Like Christmas.
Hard to put the cold in there, though.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think we usually keep the stuff with them so we can prove that they were there at the get.
We're going to keep the bids with the envelope, so we got the
Yeah.
addresses and everything we need.
I'm sorry, Danny, I was not thinking.
You want back or you want us to?
No, you tell us what they say.
Okay.
You ready, David? I'm still in the process of it.
Well, he's still in the process of something out.
Jay to kind of help with it.
Huh?
Jay to kind of helps a little bit.
And we generally just give them to Jay for him to make a recommendation.
You just allow him to.
Huh?
You just allow him. Jay.
It's all right.
Have you got them all open?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I do.
Okay, would you tell us, start with you, Frank, what bids you've got and what they say?
A bid, offer, proposal for sale or lease of materials.
From where?
It's from Asphalt Materials, Inc. You need an address or anything, Deb?
No, I won't.
Okay. And
Don't you usually accept that?
Yeah, then we just go with the lowest one.
You just accept them.
basically it's for, it delineates asphalt emulsions, et cetera, et cetera. And it's quite a lot to repeat. You want each of them?
I
each
don't
of
think
them-
detail, just that they're quoting asphalt materials, emulsions.
Okay. Okay, the next one is from CGS Services, Morristown, Indiana. And it's for gravel, crushed blend, fill sand, sluice sand, B-borrow, and pea gravel. next one is Irving Materials, Inc. And it is also for gravel, sand, snow and ice abrasive, and fill. Crushed stone. Obviously, there's a contract. I have from New Point Stone, Greensburg, Indiana, for riprap and materials to meet NDOT and/or county highway specifications.
Who was that from?
New Point Stone
Point Stone.
Company, Inc.
I can go and get it really quick.
And also from Terry, T-E-R-R-Y, Asphalt Materials, Inc. for a lot of things that have a lot of numbers with them.
In mine, over there on my back desk, I have.
It looks as if it's for, it says for fog seal, dust control oil,
It's quite a thing with some
Things
right
of-
of those bags, that green.
you're the representative? Okay.
Can you bring?
Spoken from the mouth of the expert.
It should be in there, just.
And I don't blame you for reading all that.
Brian's calculations on
And
it.
that's all I have. Can I help you?
I have a bid proposal from Marathon Petroleum Company from Indianapolis, Indiana. Roughly the same thing, dollar limit $2,500.
Diesel and gas.
Which is vendor storage tank and pumped into and pumped out of. So that's Marathon Petroleum in Indianapolis, Indiana. Next on the list is
I can kind of tell.
St. Regis.
For culverts and.
Yeah, it's culverts.
And pipe, maybe.
Yeah, and they're from Indianapolis, Indiana as well. And a lot of numbers. This is culverts as well. This is CPI Supply in Bedford, Indiana. For culverts and such. Lots of numbers. Aluminum guardrail, concrete boxes, and so on. Okay. Next is Sibcon Design, Supply, and Build, Materials Build. They are from Jeffersonville, Indiana, for culverts and such, aluminum boxes. That's about all I have, I believe.
Normally what we do is accept all the bids and instruct the highway department to take those bids and purchase on the lowest bid for each of the items.
So moved.
Second.
Been moved and seconded, we accept all the bids, instruct the highway department to purchase from those bids the ones with the lowest cost. All in favor, say aye.
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 Opposed? Motion carried. Another item which we have added to the agenda. The last meeting, we approved contracts for the health insurance, offering a full plan like we have now, and a hope, what do you call it,
Health savings account.
health savings account. The people who are 65 or over cannot fund their portion of the health savings account. The only thing they have available is the full plan. The insurance committee is proposing for those people, we give them the option of buying their own supplement plan and the county giving them a stipend in lieu of rejecting our plan. And what that's going to do, we figured on, well, we figured on mine, on someone my age, which is about the oldest one. And what that turns out to be, if we gave them a stipend of $280 for the single plan or $495 for family plan, they could pay for their supplement and their medical part D. And it would save us in the neighborhood of $7,000 per person per year. It would have to be on a voluntary basis. You can't force somebody to do that. But they would have as good or probably better insurance than what we can afford. Because that would buy them enough insurance for the full supplement, no deductible supplement.
That was my understanding, because you have looked into this before.
Yes.
And that if they were to accept that, it would actually be as good or maybe better than what is existing.
Right,
Okay.
right.
The only question I have is, 65 or older, and you said it's 7,000 per person, well, roughly 7,000.
Right, Where is it?
Are we gonna be able to have, are we gonna have a lot of people take advantage of this? Or is it
Well, we
gonna
don't
be-
know.
Well,
It's strictly volunteer.
Yeah, and I don't really have a current count on how many employees this would affect. And Barton and I kind of started looking at this last year when we had someone in from Humana and realized the cost savings to the county.
Right.
And it's just like every time we tried to do something, we've hit a little hurdle and we've got past it. We've talked to the State Board of Accounts. And like Barton said, you can't, we are not going to make force anyone to take it. I think one of the advantages, then they would already have that already set up, so when they do retire, then they can carry on.
Right.
What we ran into, we wanted just to be able to pay that like we do our group health insurance if
Right.
someone selected that. The problem is, there are a lot of rules and regulations on supplements for those over 65, and we cannot do that.
Right.
They can't enter into a group plan, we can't pay it for them. So then, every time we hit something, it said, okay, well, can we do a stipend in lieu of insurance that we pay directly to the employees and they can go out and purchase their own plan? And that's where Barton said, we kind of used him as an example and went in and calculated the county's cost of the stipend per year versus the county cost of the full insurance. And if they are carrying their spouse on the plan for an employee and spouse, it amounts to like a $9,275 savings to the county. And then for an individual plan, it will be about a $4,711 savings. So it isn't just about the savings, but it's also that we're just trying to figure the best way to make it as easy as we can for the employees, and then they can actually, take care of that themselves. They've got it set up when they leave, so.
Right.
But it is a big savings when you take that much money per person that you'd save.
Yeah,
Right.
That's that much more than you can add to the
yeah.
insurance for the rest of the people.
The county's cost of a full insurance, the regular insurance plan currently for employee and spouse is $1,267.84 a month. That's not counting the employee's contribution. And then for a single plan, well, I put it down for the year, so I guess I don't have what it is.
Right, what is it for the year?
For the county's plan for a year for a single standard plan would be $8,076.36, so.
The reason I asked the question, and I'm sure it's a great plan, and I agree with it, that we're gonna, we would save money, and they would, anyone over 65 would actually get better insurance. Probably better coverage. I just hope that people over 65 in the county that are employees utilize the plan, more than one person.
Well, we would hope so,
Kind
but
of,
we
yeah,
can-
you
we-
can't
But we
force
can't,
anyone.
right.
It
No.
has to be strictly a voluntary.
So do you need a vote?
Yeah, we need.
Well, and this is what it came down to. The stipend would be $280 a month for an employee only, and $495 for employee and spouse.
Mr. President, I'll move to accept as presented the insurance change for those 65 and over.
The insurance option.
Excuse me, insurance option, simply because it's a win for the employee and the win for the county.
Second.
And moved and seconded that we do offer the over 65 people this option of giving them the stipend in lieu of taking the insurance. Is there any other discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. That is all the items on the agenda. Do we have any patrons' concerns? Hearing none, we need approval of the claims and the payroll.
So moved.
Here, can you hold on? Didn't
Yeah.
you ask about something, whether we had approved what was it you said during the drainage board? Had we approved something? Was that in with this month's claim? And I can't remember what it was. Do you remember us discussing that?
I asked you if the claim for the air conditioner for the 9/11 was in
Air conditioner for 9/11. Was that in there? It is in there.
there. Yeah. And I talked to Mr. Colder, and he thinks the air conditioner is fixed. The contract says that we are obligated for that, so
Okay.
we'll have to pay it and then put this in part of our negotiations on the new contract.
Okay.
Now,
I second it.
all right. We have, it's been moved and seconded. We've approved the claims and the payroll. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried.
There is one other thing that I totally forgot because I didn't bring it in with me. We did receive a bill from on our liability insurance where they were going to charge us for, remember when we had, they
That
had
safety
the
meeting.
people, that safety meeting, and they were going to charge us like
$4,900.
$4,900 and some dollars. And we have a hold on that claim. Brad Wilson has put a hold on that claim, so we're not processing it at this time. So,
No,
It's not-
it's my opinion, for $251,000 insurance, you shouldn't have to pay $4,900 for a meeting.
It's
Those
not,
people want it.
it's not getting my vote to get approved, I tell you.
No.
When we asked them if there was something that could be done to limit our liability or to check on things, okay?
Yeah, they offered,
But there was no mention, as far as I'm aware, of it being a charge.
No, it wasn't.
Insurance companies have experts everywhere for everything. So, it won't get my vote, so.
no.
So they're charging us $4,900 for even coming here as well.
Well, I
Well,
think it was
yeah,
a meeting and manuals or some, I
don't-
think it was
I
kind
don't know what it
of,
was for.
yeah.
But there's nothing mentioned about any charge to us for a safety meeting, just, the bill just come out of the blue the other day.
Figured they weren't flying up for
Who was the
Texas,
one
Texas.
It's in, would come from Brad Wilson's insurance office. But I've talked to him about it, and like Debbie said, that bill's on hold. So it's not in your list of bills for today.
Okay.
Any other questions? It's been moved and seconded. We approve the claims and pay for them. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried.
Mr. President, there's no further business. Move to adjourn.
Second.
Been moved and seconded. This meeting be adjourned. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Meeting adjourned.